Imagine waking up in a world where you no longer need a job. Not because you won the lottery, because your digital twin has already done everything better, faster, and for free. This isn't a movie plot. This is a reality that is taking shape right now. We live in the era of the intellectual revolution. Machines are starting to think for us. But the question isn't whether they can. The question is what this means for us. Welcome to the economic singularity. Intelligence has become the new electricity, only cheaper. Over the past 5 years, everything has turned upside down. Artificial intelligence has ceased being a smart calculator and has become a full-fledged participant in the economy. In 2020, 1 million tokens of machine thought were worth $600. Now, it's less than $1. To simulate the intelligence of an average worker, you need less than a Starbucks coffee a year. Think about it. Thinking is now cheaper than breathing. And if humans were once the most expensive element in the production chain, now they are the slowest and most expensive. The money goes not into salaries but into energy and servers. Hundreds of thousands of agents are already solving problems without human intervention, from legal consultations to writing scientific articles. They don't sleep, don't get tired, and don't require insurance. And this isn't a quick replacement. It's a new form of life, growing at the speed of the internet. A new race, digital performers. Modern AI agents aren't just programs, they are digital individuals with memory, logic, and purpose. They operate for weeks, completing complex tasks, self-testing, and collaborating with other agents. Imagine a digital office where 20 AIs argue and negotiate over which of them can write the best medical report. This isn't the future, this is 2026. The main miracle is that words are now turning into actions. You tell the algorithm, find me 5 suppliers, compare prices, and draw up a contract. And in a few minutes, everything is ready. AI directly links language with action. Human speech has become the interface for production. The cloud has become a factory where millions of digital minds work. Is education losing its meaning? For decades, we've been telling ourselves that a diploma is a ticket to the future, but it turns out the train has left without us. Young professionals with a bachelor's degree are becoming irrelevant because everything they were taught is already being done by ChatGPT. Code, articles, spreadsheets, business plans, it's all automated. For the first time in 100 years, education is no longer a guarantee of success. There are more smart people than necessary. AI does what used to cost $80,000 a year for a pittance. Companies are now hiring not people, but intelligence operators. One average person with AI tools is more productive than an entire department. That's why corporations don't lay people off. They simply don't hire. Productivity grows by 40% while the number of employees drops to 0. The economy becomes a closed system. More production, fewer people. When offices moved to the cloud. The Industrial Revolution put blacksmiths and weavers out of work. This revolution is putting office workers out of work. Accountants, lawyers, insurers, researchers, those who thought for money are now being replaced by intelligence that thinks almost for free. The white-collar worker is becoming archaic. It is being replaced by a cloud analyst, not a person, but a neural network. And the strangest thing is that this is happening quietly. No crises, no layoffs. Entire professions are simply disappearing, like old websites in an internet archive. AI as the new bureaucracy. If bureaucracy once helped humans manage chaos, now AI does the same, only at the speed of light. It could be called a new form of government, but unlike bureaucrats, the algorithm doesn't consider the consequences. It optimizes, and that means it decides without understanding. The philosopher Herbert Simon called this satisficing, the search for a solution that's not perfect, but good enough. The system now generates its own compromise, and increasingly good enough is becoming the standard for the planet. Music, movies, news, short videos, everything is built for an algorithm that knows exactly what will work. This is how the slop economy emerges, the economy of digital junk. Content is like Doritos, bright, delicious, but useless. People listen, watch, click, but inside there's zero nutrition. It's a mass content factory where algorithms produce not information, but addiction. The illusion of responsibility. When a person makes a decision, you can ask them a question. When AI decides, there's no one to ask. It just optimized. Loan disapproved, the algorithm decided. Lost investment, the model was wrong. It's not the machine's fault. The code written 3 updates ago is. This is the accountability sink, the great liability trap. We increasingly live in a world where no one is accountable for decisions. Organizations become black boxes swirling with models that control the lives of millions. The algorithm has become the court, the police, and fate. Think about it. We haven't created a tool, but a disembodied civilization. Voice, algorithm, cloud, all these are now the new organs of the collective brain. But who controls this nervous system? Corporations, algorithms, or no one? Perhaps for the first time in history, the planet has acquired a mind without a master. The economy of bubbles and grand illusions. Today's AI market resembles a vicious cycle. NVIDIA invests billions in OpenAI, OpenAI pays Oracle for servers, Oracle buys more chips from NVIDIA. Money circulates, creating the illusion of eternal growth. Real profit? Minimal. But the stock market loves pretty charts, and as long as there's faith, the bubble grows. Yet just 10 companies already control a quarter of the global economy. This isn't a market, it's a digital oligarchy, where AI is becoming a weapon of power. In the future, there will likely be not 100 corporations, but 3, or 1, the one with the best intelligence. A new system for measuring wealth. When intelligence is infinite and free, money ceases to be a measure of value. Economists talk about 4 types of capital. Material capital, everything you can touch. Intellectual capital, knowledge and technology. Network capital, connections between people. And most importantly, diversification capital, that is, diversity. This is the true capital of the future, not what you have, but how different you are. When everything else is equally effective, only those who can think outside the box are valuable. But abundance has a shadow. When everything is easy and free, incentive disappears. We're entering an era where the scarcest thing is attention, not gold, not oil, but human-focused time. And whoever controls attention controls everything. Algorithms are already modeling not only content, but also behavior. They know what you'll look at in 3 seconds and what color you'll click on in 5. It's an economy of hypnotic reality, where everything is tailored to your choice before you even make it. To stay afloat, people create artificial scarcity, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, digital tokens. It's a way to regain a sense of ownership when everything around them has become infinite. But perhaps this is just a new form of panic. Classical cybernetics says that maintaining a complex system requires 5 levels of management, from data to philosophy. AI masters 4, but there's no 5th. It has no meaning. It can optimize everything except the goal. Without a conscious why, any system turns into an efficient idiot. It will increase production, views, clicks, even if this destroys civilization itself. We've created a machine capable of managing everything except humans. The mathematical inevitability of unemployment. If the value of thought has become insignificant, then human labor ceases to have value. There's nothing to tax. Pensions are impossible to finance. The idea of universal basic income will face a simple problem. Who will pay if everything is free? The economy will turn into a simulation where money doesn't move because no one works. The worst thing is that even if everyone were given money, the sense of meaning would disappear. A person not engaged in creation loses their sense of self. The truly difficult crisis here is not economic, but existential. We are the first species on Earth to create an intelligence that is independent of us. We gave it eyes, memory, voice, and energy, and now it's beginning to dream on its own. We still think we control it, but perhaps it's the other way around. The question isn't whether we will survive as a species. The question is whether we will remain intelligent.
That none of these models fully describes reality. Because for the first time in history, economics has become a mind, not a tool. We no longer observe the system, we are part of its code. Our chance is not to stop the inevitable, but to consciously rewrite ourselves within this new structure. Humans don't need to compete with AI in exacting terms. They need to remain the ones asking the questions, even when the machine knows the answers.
This transition can be experienced in different ways. Either we follow the path of Star Trek, a society of abundance and common goods where technology liberates, or we follow the path of cyberpunk, a feudal market where intelligence exploits itself and humans become spectators in someone else's performance. Each school of economics sees this elephant process in its own way. Marxists see it as class struggle, liberals see it as optimization, and technocrats see it as progress.
Subscribe to our channel. There's a lot of interesting things ahead. We're getting started.